Hey guys, this is Jacinda and I am back. This is the Santa Claus video. I know. You want to know why Santa Claus is on the naughty list. So I'm about to tell you why. Basically what we have in just to kind of set the scene and set the context here, the debate between Danny and I and Robert Skeeth was whether or not it was okay to release all of these third parties from all of these possible claims that we could have, or all these possible rights that we might need. And the important part here is that if you watch the other video, one of the problems that we had run into with several lawyers is you signed a contract and you didn't get a survey. It's because the contract was very strictly written. So it was a waiver of a trial by jury. It was a waiver to have the contract rescinded even. So all of those claims that were really important to making sure that we were protected, that our rights were protected, those claims were purportedly waived. And so what ends up happening even in the judicial system and in the court system is you have a situation in which there may have been a fraud that takes place, especially when you're dealing with these major banks and these major international finance corporations. What ends up happening is you have a situation where you're waiving all of these rights, you're signing all of these contracts, and then you see it from your point of view, which is that you're not a person who's just looking to jump into a lawsuit. You're not a person that's just hungry to get into conflict. You are an average person, and then you would expect that there's really nothing that you can foresee that would go wrong with this particular transaction, which is what most people did prior to the mortgage foreclosure crisis. They read their mortgage, or maybe they didn't read their mortgage. They just went ahead and they were at the title company and they just sign here, sign here, sign here. And that's what people did. And then there were others that read the mortgage, but they couldn't see how this would have applied in different, global financial meltdown sets of circumstances. So we can see how in this particular situation where we keep going to one lawyer after another who says, well, that contract is just really, really strict and it's very onerous. There was a lot of things that were in there that we had no idea could have come back and bit us, like that transaction with Fannie Mae. Now, Fannie Mae just defrauded us. They had a mortgage inspection certificate on file, and we recognize that. But that being said, the other issue is that they want to, and when I say they, I mean the judicial branch, whenever they're settling these claims out, they want the case to be in the court system. But what these corporations want to do is they want to modify the situation to nothing more than something that's kind of minor that they don't have to actually be accountable for, or they can diversify that risk. They can spread that risk around. And so what ends up happening is they create a new contract that replaces the old contract, and it's just as strictly written, it's just as onerous, it's just ridiculous as the first one. So you're replacing one ridiculous contract that waives your right to a jury trial, one ridiculous contract that waives your right to a rescission, one ridiculous contract that Fannie Mae apparently thinks that gives them the right to prevent someone from being defrauded by them. And then it replaces it with a new contract that does the exact same thing, only the next one is worse because then it's supported by a court order that says all the matters have been settled. So whenever he's sitting here saying that, you're going to be releasing a lot of people, and it matters not that if they ask Santa Claus to be released, what difference does it make? You don't have a claim against them. We didn't think that we were going to be defrauded. We didn't think when we took possession of a house that we didn't have a note or mortgage on, that it wouldn't exist on the land, that the land was 10 acres to the north. We didn't even think that was possible. How could Fannie Mae and JP Morgan Chase Bank and the title company, the title insurance company, the foreclosure company, how in the world could they not know where that kind of asset is? And so at the end of the day, it just creates this very scary event where your attorney has already said that what you signed was already strictly written, and now you're about to replace it with something that's even worse with a whole lot of other entities. So this is it. This is going to be a fairly short video. There's the context is pretty short, but here it is. Because because what we don't want to do is we don't want to do anything that is, first of all, waives things that we don't know from people that we don't know, from parties we don't know, and the benefits that they've received that we don't know. And
no, you're not waiving anything that you're entitled to. Trust me, as your lawyer, I'm telling you, you have no claims against anybody but Fannie Mae and the Careys. And all of those claims that you have been asserted in this lawsuit. And there is nothing else to go figure out and sue somebody over. You have a breach of contract, and we pleaded several different things against Fannie Mae, but it's largely a breach of contract seeking rescission.
Right,
they
right.
didn't deliver to you what you purchased.
Okay.
Or what you thought you were purchasing.
Well, then there's no reason to release them from any other possible claims, I guess, then, right? So we wouldn't have to worry about that.
Settlements, guys. That's how we do settlements. We release, when you get a paycheck like this, you release the party you've sued from anything you brought or could have brought. And, it's not unfair for them to ask for you to release other people, even if it matters not. If they ask you to release Santa Claus in this claim, we don't have a claim against them. So what does it matter? Legally, it doesn't matter, and you should not be focusing on that because it's not going to affect the amount of money you get or the end result of this lawsuit. It's not going to affect it in any way.
So that's really the problem, is that if it doesn't affect the amount of money received or the end result of the lawsuit, what about our other rights? What about our rights to lobby Congress, to enact change? Does it alter our rights and our ability to make YouTube videos and tell the people, hey, wait a minute, you might want to pump the brakes on whatever mortgage it is that you're getting or whatever loan it is that you're getting, and stop and make sure that your deed has an accurate legal description. What does it say about us being able to say we really feel like Fannie Mae was responsible for this, and that they were able to really just slough off that responsibility to numerous other entities and then make us liable for it? Well, we can't say that if we sign that settlement agreement, can we? So it gets to be, after a while, absolutely appalling the way that the judicial industry really finds a way to justify what is really, it's an adhesion contract. It's abusive. I shouldn't have to give up my rights to get our own money back because we were defrauded. We shouldn't have to put our constitutional guarantees on the table for negotiation simply so that Santa Claus can be released. And if he doesn't care whether or not something as silly as putting in Santa Claus and releasing Santa Claus into the transaction, if that's not important enough to him, then what other issues are silly or they are harmful to us that he would be willing just to overlook it because he doesn't care? So that is the Santa Claus video. So just so you know, spoiler alert, Santa's not real. All right, see you guys later. Bye.